Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Halftime Speech. Today is going to be our NBA breakout player predictions for the next upcoming season. Me and Judah, we're on episode 11 now. Judah, you want to start us off?
My first pick, I said Jalen Smith. I really like the way that he fits in with the Indiana Pacers. I think he's a great big man. He's a stretch four. Great for Tyrese Halliburton to stretch the floor. Gives Tyrese more opportunities, and then he'll drive to the rim, pass out to Jalen, knocks down a three, goes to the rim, plays paint. He's a very good. He's a very well-rounded player, good shot blocker, and I liked him coming out of the draft. He started to show on the Suns, got traded to the Pacers, started to show even more. Now he's probably going to be starting. Could trade Miles Turner, so maybe he could start at the five or start at 4 or 5 with Isaiah Jackson. And then I just really like everything about his game, and I think if he gets the opportunity, he's going to break out.
That's great to say. Indiana has a lot of potential coming up in this season, and I want to see some more pickups in this free agency. I want to see some trades happen. Like you said, Jalen Smith could start at the five if Miles Turner gets traded, but we're going to have to see. Let's move on to the next pick. This was my prediction. Jalen Green. I want to say he had a pretty mid-tier season. Didn't do really well in the dunk contest either, but he has a lot of potential, mainly due to Houston being such a low-level team, bad record, not great players, but with Jalen being so young, I know he definitely got a lot of advantage out of that season there, tanking, learning the new competition, learning how to play in the NBA. He's a great player, amazing potential, good height for being a point guard or guard in general. This season I can see him coming up. I definitely can. He got a great shot on him, really great in-game finisher. Yeah, good potential here. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, Jalen Green started off really slow, to be honest, but then he quickly started heating up towards the end of the season and showed all that potential we knew he had. So I think Jalen Green is bound to break out, and I think he's going to be a superstar in this league still, even after his mediocre season. I still think he's going to be a top player in the league.
For sure.
Next, I had Davion Mitchell, another past rookie. He's probably going to start at the two alongside De'Aaron Fox and just be that 3 and D two guard. He's a very good defender. He'll probably guard the main ball handler and then let De'Aaron do most of the offense. There's not much to say about him. I think he's like a Marcus Smart type guy, to be honest. And we just saw Marcus Smart win Defensive Player of the Year. So I think Davion Mitchell could do similar things.
For sure, for sure. All right, next one. This is my pick. John Wall, again another Houston player, but I could see him moving off. He has a huge contract. Things aren't going to work out. He doesn't want to be a bench player for Houston, and they want to just tank. John Wall's a great player. Last time we saw him, he was averaging solid points. He was averaging over 20. Him going on to the team, he could fit the same role he fit on Washington. Not the exact same way. He's getting a little older now, but he's still a great player. I feel like he could be a great fit on any team that needs this, like the help, the veteran help, but still needs scoring and efficiency wise. He'll be a great pickup. Next season, we're finally going to see him play. We're going to get some more games out of him. We're going to get the same level of consistency he had last time, in my opinion. Probably a little more. I know he's dying to play.
Yeah, it really depends if he gets moved or not. I've been hearing rumors about a Russell Westbrook John Wall swap. Um, it's just he it's a really hard contract to move. I'm sure a lot of teams would love to have John Wall, but his contract is huge, and he hasn't been producing enough. He didn't play at all this past season because um, the Rockets wanted to tank and just said that he wasn't going to play. So it really, I don't think he's going to play for the Rockets again. So if this is really banking on if he's on a new team, maybe a potential buyout, like a swap for Russell Westbrook, and then Russell Westbrook gets bought out. I don't know. A lot of things could go down with John Wall, but if the right things happen, I think he and and he gets the right playing time, I think for sure John Wall is going to show us that he's still one of the better guards in the league. So let's move on to the next one though.
Yep.
I said DeAndre Hunter. I love DeAndre Hunter. He's been kind of inconsistent since coming into the league. He is a really good defender, 3 and D, small forward. I think you can move on from like a John Collins, and DeAndre Hunter has he could play power forward. I think he could stretch down there and play alongside Clint Capella or stay at the three. I think there's a lot of he's very versatile, and I think there's a lot of things you could do with him. And I think if you use him the right way, which the Hawks have I think they've been doing that. I think they've been using him the right way, and if they continue to use him like that, I think he's just going to keep getting better and better. And I think this is his breakout season for sure.
Completely agree. DeAndre Hunter has been so far a great player, and we've really enjoyed watching him. He's producing great numbers, being really well on the defensive side for Atlanta. I don't see a trade working out happening anytime soon. I'm sure they want him, and they're glad to have him. He has a pretty nice contract, so I could see an extension happening anytime soon.
I can't see him getting moved or I can't see him getting moved this off season unless it's like for a superstar. And I don't see any superstars that could come to Atlanta. I don't see. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I can't really think of any realistic ones. So I think DeAndre Hunter is going to be on the Hawks next season. I think he's staying, and he plays well enough. He could earn an extension next offseason. So I think that's his motivation. So let's move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, Demontis Sabonis. After the trade from Pacers to Kings, it was really weird. Kings fans did not like the trade at all. They lost a lot of production out of Tyrese Halliburton, an amazing player, and then they just gained a really good center. But the trade didn't work out so well. And in all honesty, Sabonis is not obviously as good as Tyrese Halliburton, but he's still a pretty good solid player. I feel like he just needed to fit and take a little more time in Sacramento to get used to things, work with the team a little more. He is a great center, so I think we're going to see some pretty good production out of him this year. Some really well production, actually.
Yeah, I like Demonis. I think starting him at the center spot is going to get him a lot more opportunities to score in the post, get rebounds, and create more plays for other guys if he plays down low. And if they play him like that with their new head coach, I think he could get it done and be an all-star again. So he kind of had a down season last year. I think he can come back. So let's move on to the next one. I said Corey Kispert. I really believe that Bradley Beal is gone. I think that he could be a part of a sign and trade somewhere, potentially Philadelphia. But Corey Kispert is going to fill right in, and he's an amazing shooter, and he showed a glimpse of being a steal last year in his draft class, and he was by far the best shooter last year's class, and I just see him making plays, getting to the rim, shooting. So I think he's a very well-rounded offensive player, and I think when Bradley Beal's gone, he's going to get all the opportunity in the world to show how good he is.
Agreed for sure. Bradley Beal's moving this season. That's almost damn near a guarantee. And this is time for teams to start getting their other role player, their backups in there, getting some more reps in. People who are already really good, we just didn't get the minutes to shine. So Corey Kispert here for Washington as their starting shooting guard is going to be a solid pickup to see. Next one is Russell Westbrook. These may shock some people here, but in all honesty, Russell, I feel like Westbrook just had a really bad slump this year. He was not fitting well, and he didn't wasn't able to live up to the hype as people wanted to. Obviously, on papers, he put up numbers, but if you watch the games, obviously he wasn't doing well for the team. It just wasn't fitting well. But I know they're planning on keeping Westbrook this season. If they do a sign and trade with John Wall, I think it may work out, but it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. But this Lakers moving around to fit a team around AD being their key piece, and then also having LeBron potentially trading away this season, but also having to keep Westbrook because of that fat contract he has. They're gonna have to work around it best as they can. So just because of that, I feel like they're also gonna help Westbrook have a better season this year. Be the main ball handler, be the primary, be aggressive as he usually is, because that's what he needs to do. He's not a playmaker, he's a slasher. Exactly what he needs. So we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook has been very inconsistent in turning the ball over, and I don't want to say I don't want to say he's washed, but he's kind of washed. So I think in the right situation, he could revitalize his career. He played really good in Washington, played really good in Houston, and as soon as he got to Los Angeles, he just didn't play good. So I think if he moves somewhere else, maybe he goes back to Houston for John Wall, or gets swapped for John Wall, then gets bought out, and then signs somewhere wherever he wants to go. Then I think then he could for sure you know kind of live up to what he was supposed to be on the Lakers. So he was bad, and I think there's plenty of opportunity for him to show that he's not washed. I said Mo Bamba, and he is a free agent. I see him. I predicted him going to the Hornets, but there's a lot of teams that need centers. So, but I think when he's a starter and when he gets the opportunities, he can stretch the floor. He's one of the best shot blockers in the league. He's still really young, like 23 or something like that. I think when Mo Bamba gets opportunity, he's gonna shine. I love Mo Bamba. I think he's very good, and I don't know if he stays in Orlando, he's gonna be like the next Nerlens Noel. He's gonna be the next role playing center that comes off the bench because they started their career off playing under another center that was already better than them. So I think if he moves, he's breaking out for sure. I actually see him going to like the Hornets or the Wizards. I think those are the two best scenarios for him to go to.
I agree with that. I feel like the Wizards can't rely on having Kristaps Porzingis as their center for long. It's just not going to be working out so well. He's getting a little older. He's drying out a little bit in the league. He's not fitting too well. Like he when that trade happened from Mavericks to the Wizards, he was playing decently better. He fit better there than he did in Dallas. But still, Mo Bamba I feel like would be a better pickup to have over that. So we may see something happen there. They may try to move Kristaps out of there. Moving on now to Jalen Brunson. As we saw, he had a pretty season with the Mavs, not bad, but not great either. Until he got to playoffs, he proved his worth. He proved that he's worthy to being a starter. Definitely works well in the Mavs, but we've talked about with their free agents. I could feel someone like Zach LaVine going over to the Mavericks, and then Jalen Brunson obviously wouldn't be getting that starting spot. But he's a starter on another team, so I feel like just because of this season, if he's going to get a starter, more minutes, better potential, another team to work around, he'll be the main ball handler. He'll have a pop out season. I really enjoyed this pick specifically.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson was always a guy that was overshadowed by Luca, coming from the same draft class and everything. But he's always been great. He's always showed potential. It's just nobody ever saw it because you know Luca was obviously the better player from that draft class to the Mavericks. So when he finds a new team, gets starter opportunities, then he's 100% going to break out. This is guaranteed if he leaves, and I think like you said, somebody like a Zach Levine can come and take his spot. Then he would leave, and then go somewhere and start, and then be an all star. Like I think he could be an all star when he gets the right opportunity.
Yeah, right opportunity, right time. He really proves his spot in the league. It's gonna happen. It's almost guaranteed.
Yep. Let's move on to the next one though. I said Patrick Williams. Unfortunately, he did get hurt and missed the majority of the season. But the one spot that is kind of not great in the Bulls lineup is their starting power forward, and their starting power forward is going to be Patrick Williams next season. He has so much potential. He's a great defender, great shooter, and he's a great all-around player. And he has a lot of potential. And I think he's going to start. If he stays healthy this season, he's for sure going to break out. He's going to have his best season by far, and I think he's an all star in the future. Not quite yet, but in the future, I think he's going to be an all star for sure when he gets all the opportunities.
No, that's perfectly fine to say. Like that could be the case for a lot of players. This is going to be a great off season. I can only imagine. So with the trades and now people finally getting their spots, like Chicago, that's a team that we can see a lot of work come in with. They have great players right now out of Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, potentially if they still keep Zach Levine. The Vucevic situation, I don't know what's going up too much with that. But the Patrick Williams also being there, he has great potential to see, and I feel like we could see a lot more out of him next season.
Yeah, I think Vucevic could get dealt, and I think Zach Levine could sign somewhere else, creating more offensive opportunities for Patrick Williams to step in. So I think for sure he's going to break out with the right opportunities. But let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Reggie Jackson, as I said, the Clippers, they have a big case scenario going on here without Kawhi being there like this last season. But him coming in this season is going to be so much better. And I know they're going to rely more on offensive help. Since seeing in the past, Kawhi, he does his best when when he has not the true primary offensive help and the defender. If he has more offensive help, which they can get out of Reggie Jackson here and PG alone, as we saw, PG can handle it on his own. Sadly, it wasn't enough, but with the help of Kawhi, if he's the main defender and that's all you need out of him is straight defense and not only offense, the Clippers have a good chance, and I'm pretty sure they realize that watching his Spurs days.
Yeah, I think Reggie Jackson just fits really well with the Clippers, and I think he's gonna showcase that. There's not a lot to say. It's just that he's a great fit alongside PG and Kawhi. So let's move on to Alexei Pokazevsky. Uh, this could potentially go wrong depending on where the Thunder go in the draft. They could, end up taking somebody that would start over Alexei. But I think Alexei could play small forward, power forward, or center, considering he is 7'1", and considering his skill set. I think all this put together could put him at any of those three positions. He's very versatile. He could play anywhere. He's very lengthy. Obviously, being 7'1", he's lengthy, and he's a great shooter, playmaker, very raw talent, but he's got a lot of potential, and he's played pretty well when he's had opportunities. So I think I'd like to see him like a starting small forward position, to be honest, because
It can happen.
I think he's a little too skinny to play down low, um, but I would love him as a wing shooter. He gives Giddy and Shea plenty of kick out opportunities. Driving to the rim, kick out to like say he shoots a three, and he's good at making those. So I think if he plays the three, I think he could break out for sure. But this could go wrong and backfire on me if like they draft Apollo Banchero or um, Jabari Smith to play power forward, and they don't want to play Alexei at the three. So that could go wrong. Or they end up drafting Chet Holmgren, who I think they will, and then Alexei plays the four. I think that could work out very well. But he's got a lot of opportunities because he is so versatile. So I think there's a good chance that he breaks out.
Yeah, that's for sure. OKC has lead, so they can move him around a good amount of places. That's for sure.
All right, moving on.
Same thing with Lakers. Honestly, I feel like if he had more minutes this year, he would have done great. He was a great throughout the season. We saw a lot of potential coming out of him. He was putting up good numbers and he was playing really well. He seemed like to handle the competition really good for the amount of limited time he had. But next year I could see him as a starter. Really, like I think you can agree with me here, Judah. He has starting potential since they're gonna be making a lot more moves this year, hoping to build around. Austin Rivers can be one of those fitting pieces. He's a great scorer and he's pretty well defensively. He can keep up pretty nice. So I want to see something happen here.
Yeah, he's a very well-rounded player. His shooting ability stands out. I think he could be like I don't want to compare him to anybody. Maybe like a Kyle Korver. He's a taller shooting guard who who's a very good shooter. And Kyle Korver obviously was an All Star. I don't want to say Austin Reeves is going to be an All Star, but he's being undrafted. I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people, and he's gonna submit his role in the NBA with the right amount of playing time this year. So I really like Austin Reeves, and I really like his game a lot, especially coming out of the draft too. And I thought it was a steal pickup for the Lakers, and he's shown that he's clutch. He's a great shooter. He had a game. I think he had like two game winners this past season. One being a buzzer beater three. So like he's shown that he can get it done out there. So with the right opportunities, he's gonna submit his role in the league. So moving on, I put Nasir Little. He unfortunately got hurt this past season, but the Trailblazers want to put a good team around Dame, and they already have Nasir Little. And Nasir Little, when he's healthy, is a great 3 and D wing. He, kind of had a underwhelming rookie season. Then he got hurt, and now he's gonna come back, and I think he's gonna play better than ever. He showed signs of it last season before getting hurt. I think he's just gonna continue on, where he left off, especially playing alongside Dame and Anthony Simons and Nurkic and everybody fully healthy. I think the Trailblazers are better than what their record showed, and I think if they draft like a Keegan Murray, I think it's a perfect fit alongside that starting five, and I think that starting five is going to be lethal if you add a Keegan Murray and then Nasir Little would just glue it all together with his 3 and D ability. So I love Nasir Little, and I think he's going to break out.
Completely agree. Portland's record this year wasn't that great. We all know they're a great team. Dame is an amazing player. Just injuries held them back this year, sadly. Give them next year, and they go right back to playoffs. I believe it strongly. I think they need a little more pickups to help Dame, a little more bench help, some more offense, and then he'll have the exact help he needs. I don't see him leaving if that's the case, but if they don't get him everything they need, because the CJ McCollum trade, I know we hated to see it, but we're gonna need to work a little more around him. And Nazir Little, he's also an amazing player. He like a little underwhelming, obviously, with that season and then the injury, but he still can play well. He can pick up the role. He's gonna have a breakout season for sure. I will completely agree with you on that.
Moving on to the last one.
James Wiseman. We have a similar situation here with like Nazir Little. James Wiseman's having a decently good season. Then he got injured. I feel like he fits really well with the Golden State's small ball like offense. He's a great player. He's a little undersized as a center, but still really athletic. God, he's athletic. He can shoot the ball really well. I can see him having a great season. If not, hopefully not injured. because that sucked to see. I don't want to see another AD type of out of him.
Yeah, when he's gonna like the Warriors starting center is wide open. The only person keeping him back is Kevon Looney, and Kevon Looney has been playing very well. Um, but I think James Wiseman is going to fit perfectly, and he's going to help continue the dynasty. He's going to be part of the future of the Warriors. You're going to have Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, James Wiseman. That's your starting five for the future, and that's just so good. And already being contenders with Curry, Clay, and Draymond, and then having all those young pieces, the the Warriors general manager has got to be the best general manager in the league, without a doubt. He just done an amazing job putting this roster together, getting those young pieces, and still being contenders while doing it. So James Wiseman, you know, I just love his potential. It was super unfortunate that he got hurt, but I think you know when he comes back fully healthy, he's gonna show why he was the number two pick.
Man, I must wonder who the Warrior scout is. It must be Adam Sandler. Have you seen the new movie?
That new movie was amazing.
Right. That's Adam Sandler scouting. It has to be the Warriors. Because, geez, their draft classes throughout the years have been amazing. Look at their. It's like them and the Celtics having amazing pickups. Great first rounders. Jordan Poole is a great pick. Klay Thompson, great pick. Curry, great pick. Wiseman is supposed to be a really great pick. We're going to see that. Without their starting center, and then now they're in the NBA Finals, and they're going to run it back with the same team next year, but with a better center. This is going to be an amazing year to come up.
Yeah, I agree. But those were all of our breakout player predictions. We did an NFL version already up on the channel, episode 10. Um, this is our last breakout player predictions until next year. So that's all we have today. So that's it.
Hope you enjoyed.